Hello and welcome everyone to the annual report presentation. I wanted to take this opportunity to ensure that all of you, the community that surrounds us here at Home Sweet Hope, are updated on the important work that we have continued to accomplish in 2023. For those of you who may not yet have met me in person, my name is Dr. Sara Cumming and I have the privilege of leading this organization as the Executive Director. July 2nd will mark my 6th anniversary here at Home Sweet Hope, and April 1st marked my 5th anniversary as the Executive Director. We have coined the year 2023 as the year of turbulence and tenacity. As the restrictions of the pandemic started to lift, I think that we all breathed a collective sigh of relief. There was some optimism that while the world wouldn't return to a pre-COVID norm, there was some kind of relief in sight. Unfortunately, this has definitely not been the case for Home Sweet Hope, nor for many others who live in our community. 2023 has been expensive for all of us, but imagine how this inflation has felt for those in our community who earn sometimes far below $30,000 annually. Unaffordable housing, insane grocery and gas prices, coupled with a less than 2% vacancy rate and high interest rates have made life unbearable for many. Our participants experienced an increase in mental health crises and experienced a lack of transportation, which prevented their full participation in events, which further exacerbated feelings of loneliness and isolation. There was an overall reduction in sponsorships, corporate donations, and grants from across the Halton region, with corporations particularly seeking out hands-on experiences rather than donating funds, which is very difficult for small organizations such as Home Sweet Hope. And grants are always asking for new innovations rather than funding pre-existing ones. And so in order for us to qualify for these grants, we have to tweak a program that we already know is working. While these struggles were intense, our individual donors stepped up to the plate and made it possible for us to get through the unexpected losses of income from other avenues. The region continued to be responsive to the changing housing climate. They helped to ensure our graduates remained in stable housing after they completed our programs. Sheridan College continued to support our participants both with their tuition and providing incredible mentors. The Oakville Community Foundation continued to facilitate donations from their fund holders and awarded us the Gender Equality Fund through the Government of Canada. First Canadian Title once again supported one of our participants by providing them with a $5,000 scholarship for their first year of school. And Kerr Street Mission, Food for Life, Bridging the Gap, and the Canadian Caribbean Association of Halton answered each of our calls for collaboration throughout the year. Several local businesses joined forces with Home Sweet Hope to strengthen our outreach. Yellow Robot helped us to create a strategic marketing plan and to throw the biggest event of Home Sweet Hope's history to date. Mix Analytics teamed up with us again to help us better understand the ebbs and flows of our donation history. And Bob Fleck Production created a series of videos documenting the journey of our participants. It is in this moment we would like to pause to honor the incredible contributions that Bob Fleck brought to Home Sweet Hope. The world lost the incredible Robert Ian Fleck on April 2nd of this year. I had the incredible privilege of working with Bob over the past year on our affordable housing campaign. In fact, I have worked with him since my first week at Home Sweet Hope on different campaigns throughout my time. He had such a huge heart and a soft spot for the participants in our program. He really emotionally invested in them and their successes, and once he would interview them, he would check in for years to come to see how they were progressing through our program. He celebrated every single one of their successes as though they were a part of his very own family. He was also an incredible friend and cheerleader to me. Our community will miss his presence, and I know that I personally have forever been blessed to have known this amazing man. We are so lucky in that many individuals continue to wrap their arms around us, much like Bob has. The tenacity of our community continued to show its strength throughout the year, with the largest number of community-led events involving Home Sweet Hope. We saw repeat supportive third-party events such as our Valentine's Day and Mother's Day donations. The Purse Project donated purses full of products once again. We were the recipients of the Mix Analytics International Women's Day event, where I also gave the keynote talk. The filling of our back-to-school backpacks continued once again this year by CIBC Mellon and Bargains Group. Hope for Holidays was another success, and FCT awarded one of our participants the William G. Davis Scholarship for the 5th year in a row. And although I'm not so sure I want to be reminded of this, our staff and participants at HSH completed the Mud Girl again in 2023. We also had the return of empty bowls at home this year. We also saw a number of new initiatives that had a huge impact on Home Sweet Hope. A grade 12 student of Craig Kilberger's secondary school motivated her school to donate personal hygiene and cleaning supplies to all of our families. Robertson Caldwell Realty team hosted their Drive to Survive event in support of Home Sweet Hope, and we were one of the organizations who benefited from the St. Andrew's Christmas House Tour this year. We also had a number of first-time events in 2023, including our first live graduation since 2018 and our first ever gala. We were also the very grateful recipients of the Ontario Trillium Foundation grant to buy our first ever vehicle. Home Sweet Hope proudly owns a Ford Maverick truck, which helps facilitate donations to our family from the community. These supports allowed us to continue to do the great work despite so many obstacles. In 2023, we were able to serve 33 families, with 17 of them actively in Homeward Bound Halton and 3 in aftercare. The other families were working through their stabilizing phases. We onboarded 8 new families into programming in 2023. We had 2 participants complete all levels of Home Sweet Hope programming, and upon graduation, both were employed full-time in their field of education, and one of the 2 was able to afford her rent completely on her own without any region or Home Sweet Hope supports. Their average annual income was $51,676. We had 4 participants secure full-time work. Kathleen obtained full-time work in her field of study prior to her graduating from her condominium management program at Humber College. Diamond graduated from Sheridan's personal support worker program with a part-time job, however, has now moved to full-time employment at Sunrise Senior Living. Diamond stays involved as an alumni of Home Sweet Hope. Churchill completed her human resource diploma from Sheridan College and very quickly secured employment. Over the last year, she has moved to a new, better position with higher pay at Canada Cartridge in the Recruitment and Talent Acquisition Department. Her son was one of the youth recipients of FCT scholarship a few years ago and is on track to graduate post-secondary this year. Our 4th is this year's feature participant in our annual report. Nicole graduated from Sheridan College's Business Human Resources program and worked with her mentor at Sheridan College and Home Sweet Hope's Industry Council to become job ready. With Industry Council support, Nicole was able to secure employment and an incredible job at Almers and reports that she could not be happier. We are ecstatic for all 4 of our participant successes and will continue to stay in contact with them through our aftercare and alumni programs. Despite grants and corporate donors in 2023, Despite drops in grants and corporate donors in 2023, Home Sweet Hope experienced a good year financially. Increasing individual donors and holding new types of events helped us to see an increase in donations over last year. We also saw an increase in our short-term investments, but this is mostly in part to the fact that we flipped one of our long-term investments to shorter-term GICs. And we saw an increase in our property and equipment, mostly due to the purchase of our new truck. We were once again able to slightly increase our internally restricted funds. These funds are paramount to the long-term success of Home Sweet Hope. The reserves have been created to ensure that we are able to continue to support our current participants through their programming. and most importantly, that we continue to access housing in these increasingly difficult markets. At the same time, we saw our expenses increase by just over 7%. This increase can be explained by increases in fundraising costs for our first ever gala and professional fees. ONCA, the Ontario Not-for-Profit Act, requires that all existing not-for-profits make changes to their governing documents to ensure that they're compliant with ONCA by October 2024. Home Sweet Hope engaged the services of a lawyer to adopt an ONCA-compliant bylaw by the deadline and took the opportunity to review and make revisions to its constituting documents. I cannot adequately express our gratitude to all of you for helping us stay financially sound despite such adversity for everyone in the community. While I urge you all to look at the annual report to see the full list of generous supporters, we would be remiss not to thank Halton Region, the Ontario Trillium Foundation, Sheridan College, the Oakville Community Foundation, Sagen, First Canadian Title, and the YMCA of Oakville for their continued partnership with us. In addition, we must thank the United Way, Halton and Hamilton, Smart Stop Storage, St. Jude's Anglican Church, Robertson Codwell, and Taylor Inc. for their continued support. Thank you to all the individual donors that share reliable monthly donations on Canada Helps and through e-transfers, who fund gaps and special projects as they arise, and who always generously provide donations. There are far too many of you to thank individually here, but please know that does not in any way lessen our gratitude. Despite all our community efforts, inflation and an unrelenting housing crisis for low-income individuals have left Home Sweet Hope deeply concerned about the future of our programming. Our programming works from a housing first principle. That is, we must provide safe and affordable housing for our participants before they're able to work through or deconstruct any of the other barriers that are preventing them from full inclusion and self-sufficiency within the community. For single mothers receiving social assistance, which are the bulk of the participants in our programs, their monthly shelter allotment is $642. This is in a climate where the average one-bedroom rent is $2,600 and two-bedroom is $3,200. In 2023, Home Sweet Hope worked tirelessly to bring awareness and funds to this critical issue. Our public discussions of the need for more access to affordable housing really began when Callum Wallace launched Flight for Hope. Flight for Hope was a solo flight around the world in a single-engine plane to bring both awareness and funds to the housing crisis in Halton. Callum left on August 1st on a 74-day solo journey around the world in a single-engine aircraft, and he raised almost $400,000 for housing at Home Sweet Hope. His return marked the official launch of our affordable housing campaign. A lot of time and energy went into the three-tiered housing plan that was formulated for Home Sweet Hope in 2023. This plan recognized the need for short, medium, and long-term fundraising goals. Our most urgent need, which continues today, occupies the first pillar of our plan, and this is to raise enough money to be able to work with local landlords and property managers to pre-purchase affordable rent in existing buildings to prevent homelessness. The second pillar of the plan includes partnering with local builders and other organizations to secure units in new builds. We have successfully negotiated one of these with 5 units in a new build in Halton Hills, but are working towards securing some in Oakville, in Burlington, and Milton as well. The final pillar is to become an owner of our own safe, affordable building. And these plans all require different levels of fundraising and resolve different time frames. And as Home Sweet Hope launches into strategic planning for our next cycle, rest assured the need for access to housing will stay at the forefront with a more focused approach. Home Sweet Hope has been running a Partners in Change campaign since 2019. This campaign is instrumental in covering the gap from our current funding bodies to the annual cost per family. We've had 9 families successfully matched with a Partner in Change for the full 4 years of their program, covering the missing $9,595 annually. This money goes specifically to programming. That amount was based on our past rates of housing subsidy. In 2023, it was determined that we had to raise our housing subsidy by almost $1,200 per month per participant. And if we want to grow and help more families, that means we need to raise $14,400 per family to cover the rental subsidy costs in this current climate. Thus, we have both a programming Partners in Change and a housing Partners in Change to speak to the different interests of our donors and community. Highlighting all of the incredible work that was accomplished in 2023 and we continue to work on in 2024 really necessitates that I draw attention to the staff and board of directors who support the work we do daily. This past year, we saw longtime staff members move on to the next stages of their career, which is what often happens when you have a young, vibrant staff. Home Sweet Hope said goodbye to Crystal Valencia, Leah Burton-Saliba, and Nancy Wisemeyer, who had all been with Home Sweet Hope for a long time. And Sasha McCartney-Stevens stepped in to help us for a few months and then also left for her new job as well. We welcomed 2 new caseworkers in 2023. Tamisha Jacques and Haley Weber have continued with us. Catherine Villaseñor, who many of you knew as Catherine Lucason, has been promoted to the Director of Operations, and Nikki Ann Hanson-Daly was promoted to Program Manager. This is Nikki Ann's last week with us for 2024 as she's about to leave on her maternity leave. In 2024, we have welcomed a Program Coordinator, Jovel Reed. In 2023, the Board of Directors said goodbye to Mary Sheridan, Burhana Beloiran, Rachel Poulos, and Milani Bastians. We also onboarded Rose Sharifi, Juliana Varpalotai Xavier, and Nazira Khan. In 2024, Val de Herrero has also onboarded. I would like to express my gratitude to my outgoing chair, Franz Fournier, and the vice chair, Ted Ecclestone, of the board for their continued support of Home Sweet Hope and of me specifically. As always, there are many opportunities for those of you or those in your network to get involved with Home Sweet Hope. We, of course, always welcome donations and new partners in change, but there are also plenty of other ways you can get involved that do not include monetary donations. For one, you can just tell our story. For those that don't know that programs like Home Sweet Hope exist, they have no way to direct funds to programming like ours. We're also always looking for mentors and for people to join our industry council to help our single parents transition into the workforce after they complete their education. If you are interested in sitting on a board of directors and are passionate about this cause, we are always accepting applications. There are many ways that you or your children could help to arrange special events or fundraising activities to benefit our families. Come out to all of our events, with Home Sweet Hope's Empty Bowls being the next up, October 20th at Appleby College. And if you have a different idea, please don't hesitate to reach out. Know how very grateful we are and that I'm always open to talk, text, or email to answer any questions you might have. We are in the midst of strategic planning and are happy to hear from our community about what all of you would like to see for Home Sweet Hope in the next 3 years. Thank you once again for your continued support and interest in our organizations and the families we serve. As of Monday next week, you will be able to access our full annual report and our audited statements directly on our website. And we hope to see many of you at our appreciation barbecue this Thursday. Thank you.